91.
Is that so?
Yes.
You're 92.
Be that as it may.
Is that so?
Say so here.
Well, what does it matter?
Venice is amazing.
So's forgetting.
I'm 91.
Okay.
You're 92.
Oh, let it alone.
No, it's important getting things.
It doesn't matter.
It does to me.
I know. Because he says you're exactly 30 years older than I am. I know how old I am because I know how old you are. And if you ever forget how old you are, ask me how old I am. And then you'll know. Oh, he said that a lot.
What if he's wrong?
What?
Let it be.
What if he's wrong? What if he's not 30 years younger than you?
You think he'd know how old he is?
No, I mean, what if he's wrong about how old you are?
Don't be silly. How couldn't he be 30 years younger than me when I'm 30 years older than he is? He said it over and over. Every time he comes to see me. What is today?
It's Friday.
You see?
Well, one of you might be wrong, and it might not be him.
He.
Yes, I know.
Don't be stupid. What is it? What day is it?
It's Friday.
No.
Know what?
No, it isn't.
Okay.
What day do you think it is?
What day is it? What day do I? Why? It's today, of course. What day do you think it is?
Right on, girl.
What an answer, what a
Don't you talk to me that way.
Well, I'm sorry.
I pay you, don't I? You can't talk to me that way.
In a way,
What?
indirectly, you pay someone who pays me, someone who hires me.
Oh, there you see. You can't talk to me that way.
She isn't talking to you that way.
What?
She isn't talking to you that way.
I don't know what you're talking about. Besides,
There. Feel better?
Honestly.
A good part lets it all out.
what does a bad one do?
Sometimes they're so...
What?
Never mind. I was going to say something nice. Never mind.
What did she say? She mumbles all the time.
I don't mumble. Never mind.
How is anybody expected to hear what she says?
She didn't finish her sentence. It doesn't matter.
I'll bet it doesn't.
What I meant was you may have been incorrect about your age for so long. May have made out of fiction so many years ago. So why anyone would lie about 1 year?
Let her alone. Let her have it if she wants to.
I will not.
Have what?
Why you will lie about 1 year? I can imagine taking off 10 or trying to. Though more probably 7 or 5, good and tricky. But 1, taking off 1 year? What kind of Venice is that?
How you go on.
How you go on.
How I go on. So I can understand 10 or 5 or 7, but not 1.
How you do.
How you do. How what?
How she goes on.
Yes, how you go on.
Yes, I do.
I want to go.
On.
I want to go. I want to
You
go.
want to go? Is it number 1? Do you want to pen?
No, no.
Well, can you walk?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll try you, okay?
hurting me. You're hurting me.
All right, I'm being careful.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. You're trying to hurt me. You know I hurt.
Hold the fort.
I will hold the fort.
Ow. Ow.
All right.
I suppose one could live out 1 year. Some kind of one-upmanship, a private vengeance perhaps, some tiny victory maybe. I don't know, maybe these things get important. Why can't I be nice?
We made it that time. And so it goes.
Not always, huh?
In the morning when she wakes up, she wags. A kind of greeting to the day, I suppose. The sort that and instinct are not in sync. Never during the night, but as she wakes.
Good morning to morning, huh?
Something to something.
What's that wrong with her?
She won't have it. I'm working on it, but she won't have it.
Rubber sheet?
She won't have it. Get her up, put her in her chair, and she does the other. Give her a cup of coffee.
Black.
Half cream and all that sugar. 3 spoons. How has she lived this long? Give her a cup of coffee, put her in her chair, give her a cup of coffee, and place her bets.
What chair? This chair?
You got it. Don't worry.
It must be awful.
For whom?
For her, your page is probably awful for you too, but you're paid.
As she never ceases to inform me, and you.
To begin to lose it, I mean, the control, the last one,
Oh,
dignity.
stop it. It's downhill from 16 on. For all of us.
Yes.
What
but
are
when-
you? Planning something? Haven't you noticed it yet? We take the breath in. You let it out. The first one you take in, you're upside down, and they slap you into it. The last one, well, the last one you let it all out. And that's it. You start, and then you stop. Don't be so soft, like you see children learn it. Have a 6-year-old say, I'm dying, and know what it means.
You're horrible.
Started young. Make them aware they've only got a little time. Make them aware that they're dying from the minute they're alive.
Awful.
Grow up. Do you know it? Do you know you're dying?
Well, of course, but that's...
Grow up.
A person could die in there, nobody would care.
Done already?
A person could die. A person could fall down and break something. A person could die, nobody would care.
Let me help you.
Get your hands off me. A person could die for all anybody cared.
Who is this person? A person could do this.
It's a figure of speech.
No, really?
So they tell me.
Hold on to me. Do you want me to fall? You want me to fall.
Yes, I want you to fall. I want you to fall and shut it in 10 pieces.
Or 5 or 7?
Where's my chair? Where's my chair gone to?
Goodness, where's her chair gone to? Somebody's taken her chair.
What?
Who's got my chair?
Well, I'm sorry, Your Majesty.
There's your chair. Do you want your pillow? Shall I get you your pillow? Fetch your pillow.
I want to sit down.
Yes, yes. Here we go.
Which pillow?
Are you comfortable? Do you want your pillow?
Oh, of course I'm not comfortable. Of course I want my pillow.
I don't know which one.
It's 2, actually. One for the back end, this one for the arm. Lean forward. That's a girl.
My arm. My arm, where's the pillow?
Here we go. All comfy? All comfy?
What?
Nothing.
And so it goes.
Uh-huh.
What a production.
You haven't seen anything.
I bet.
You can't just leave me in there like that. What if I fell? What if I died?
Well, if you died, I'd either hear you or you'd resurrect it. And if you died, what would it matter?
You can say that again. What's the matter with you?
Who? Me?
Yes, you.
What's the matter with me?
That's what she said.
That's what I said.
What are you all doing? Gang up on me?
Is that what we're doing?
Maybe.
There's nothing the matter with me.
Well, you just wait.
What did she say?
She says there's nothing the matter with her. Miss Perfect over there.
I didn't say that. That's not
Why
what
is she yelling at me?
He's not.
I'm not.
Now you are.
You see? What is today?
It's Friday.
Will he come today? Is today the day he comes?
No, not today.
Why not?
Oh, he probably has something else to do. He probably has a full schedule.
He never comes to see me. And when he does, he never stays. I'll fix him. I'll fix all of them. They all think they can treat me like this. You all think you can get away with anything. I'll fix you all.
Is it all like this?
No, it's often very pleasant.
Huh.
You all want something. There's nobody doesn't want something. My mother taught me that. Be careful, she said. They all want something. She taught me what to expect, me and my sister. She prepared us. And somebody had to. I mean, we were girls, and that was way back then. And it was different then. We didn't have a lot. Being a girl wasn't easy. We knew we'd have to make our own way. And being a girl back then... Why am I talking about this?
Because you want to.
That's right. She tried to prepare us for going out in the world, for men, for making our own way. Sis couldn't do it. That's too bad. I could. I did. I met him at a party, and he said he'd seen me before. He'd been married twice. The first one was a whore. The second one was a drunk. He was funny. He said, let's go riding in the park. And I said, all right. Scared to death. I lied. I said I rode. He didn't care. He wanted me, I could tell that. It only took 6 weeks.
Good girl.
We had horses when we were married. We had a stable. We had saddle horses. We rode.
Hoity-toity.
I learned to ride, and I was very good.
I'm sure.
Are you sure?
Shh.
He would go with me, and we would ride every morning. I rode side saddle, and I rode astride, and I drove ponies, hackneys, and I loved it all. He would go with me, and we would ride every morning, and the Dalmatian would go with us. What was her name? Susie? No. We had good horses, and we showed them, and we won all the ribbons, and we kept them in a big case down in... No, that was the other house. We kept them. And cups. All the silver cups we won, and bowls and platters. We knew all the judges, but that's not why we would win. We won because we were the best.
Of course.
Be decent.
Oh, she'll learn. I knew all the judges. And I would go in the ring when we were in the championships, and I'd sit there and I'd watch the horses. I never rode when we were in the championships. Earl did that. He was our rider. I would sit there and I'd watch with the judges. They all knew me. We were famous. We had a famous stable. And when the judging was done, they'd tell me if we'd won, and we almost always did. And if they told me, and they almost always did, I'd signal. I'd take my hat off, and I'd touch my hair. And that way they'd know we'd won. Oh, everyone in our box. Oh, I used to love it. Riding in the morning, going to the station, going to the stable in the station wagon, in my coat and joggers and my derby, and petting, what was her name, the Dalmatian? Susie, I think. No. And mounting and riding off. Sometimes he came with me, but sometimes he didn't. Sometimes I went off alone.
Who? Her husband, most likely. Did you ride when you were little?
No, we were poor.
Poor. Really poor.
Well, no, not really poor. My father was an architect. He designed furniture. He made it.
That's not an architect. That's a...
Let it be.
He made such beautiful furniture. He was an architect. Strict but fair. No, our mother was strict. No, they were both strict. And fair.
No.
I don't know what I'm saying. What am I saying?
You're talking about horses. You're talking about riding. And we asked when you were a little girl.
We never rode. The neighbors had a horse, but we never rode it. I don't think my sister ever rode. But I can't swim. She drank.
When she was a little girl?
Oh, please.
What? What are we talking about?
Horses. You didn't ride when you were a little girl.
Oh, no, you rode if you were a farmer, or if you were rich.
Or if you were a rich farmer?
Shh. No, she'll learn. Won't you?
Well, I dare say.
I wasn't rich until I got married. And I wasn't really right then till later. It all adds up. We had horses. We rode. I learned to ride, and I was very good. I rode side saddle, and I rode astride. And I drove ponies, hackneys.
And you love it all.
And I what?
You love it all.
You loved it all.
I did?
So you say.
Well, then it must be true. I didn't like sex much, but I had an affair.
Oh?
What? What do you want?
She doesn't want anything.
We used to ride. He would go with me. Not all the time. Sometimes I would go off alone or with a dog, part way, never too far from the stable. She had a cat she was in love with. She'd go back, but I'd go on. I had my joggers and my coat and my switch and my derby hat. I always rode in all my costumes. Never go out except you're properly dressed, I always say. I'd go to the stable in the station wagon. I loved to drive. I was good at it. I was good at everything. I had to be. He wasn't. I'd go in the station wagon to the stable, and Earl would be there. Or one of the stable boys, Tom, or Bradley. Am I doing in my panties?
Well, let's see. Upsy daisy. Nope, but I bet you're going to. Off you go.
Hold the fort. Why am I doing this?
Because it's unnecessary? Because I've already done it?
The princess in a pea, maybe. What's wrong with her arm?
She fell and broke it, and it didn't heal. Mostly they don't at that age. They put pins in it, metal pins. The bone disintegrates around the pins, and the arm just hangs there. They want to take it off.
What?
The arm. They want to take the arm off.
No.
It hurts.
Still.
She won't let them.
I shouldn't think so.
What do you know? She makes us go into the city once a week to see the surgeon, the one who said it, the one who wants to take it off. God, he's almost as old as she is. She trusts him, she says. She goes in once a week and she makes him x-ray it and look at it. And each time the pins are looser and the bone's gone more. And she tells the old guy, the surgeon, it's so much better, and she wants him to agree. And he waffles and he looks at me and I'm no help. And she makes him promise that he'll never take the arm off and won't let anyone else do it either. And he promises, assuming she'll forget. Probably, but she won't. There's some things she'll never forget. He promised me. You were there. You heard him. I think she says that every other day. He promised me. You were there. You heard him. Oh, God. Now, why did you do that? You're not a naughty girl, bad girl. What do I have to do? Take everything away from you, huh?
I broke the glass. I took the glass and I threw it down in the sink. I broke the glass and now she has to clean it up.
Bad girl.
I broke the glass. I broke the glass. I have to sit down. I can't sit down by myself. Why won't somebody help me?
Now, here we go.
Ow. Ow.
All right now.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, you're a big help.
How do you know I'm supposed to be?
Just hear from the lawyer, huh?
Yes, just hear from a lawyer.
What? What did you say?
I said, well, what it implied was, since she's here from the lawyer, why should she behave like a human being? Why should she be any help? Why should
You
she...
from Harry?
No, Harry's dead. Harry's been dead for years.
Harry's dead? When did Harry die?
30 years ago.
Well, I knew that. What are you talking about Harry for?
You asked if I confront Harry. You asked.
I wouldn't do anything that stupid.
And so it goes.
Harry used to be my lawyer. But that was years ago. Harry died. What? 30 years ago? Harry died. Now his son's the lawyer. I go to him. Well, he comes to me. Sometimes I go to him.
Yes, you do. And yes, he does.
Why are you here?
Something has been misplaced. I'm being done.
Somebody stealing things?
No. We send you checks to sign, don't sign them. We call you and don't call back. We send you papers to sign, don't sign them. Things like that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
None of it's true. You're lying. Get Harry on the phone.
Harry is...
Excuse me. The I'll get to it pile.
What?
The I'll get to it pile.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Papers? Checks?
No, lots of stuff.
There's nothing.
What is there? What is it?
You have a drawer full. You both come and you look at them. And some of them you send on and they get paid. And some of them you say you can't remember and so you don't send them.
Why would I send in a bill for something I never ordered?
And they send you your checks to sign, to pay bills. And some of them you sign because you remember what they're for. But some of the checks you can't remember.
What?
You don't remember what they're for and so you don't sign them. And you put them in the drawer.
So?
These things pile up.
I see.
Everybody out there is ready to rob me blind. I'm not made of money, you know.
Yes, you are. Isn't she?
More or less.
They'd all steal you blind if you didn't pay attention. The help, the stores, the markets. That little Jew makes my furs. What's her name? She's nice. They all rob you blind as soon as you turn your back on them. All of them.
We have asked you to let all your bills come to us. We will know what to do. Let me bring your checks every month and I'll stay here, but I'll sign it, whatever you like.
None of you think I can handle my own affairs. I've done it for... When he was so sick, I did it all. I did all the bills, I did all the checks, I did everything.
But now you don't have to.
I didn't have to then. I wanted to. I wanted everything to be right, and I do now. I still do.
Well, of course you do.
Of course you do.
And so I'll handle my own affairs, thank you.
Well, certainly.
And I'll pretend to watch you pretend of them.
And I watch you, every one of you. I used to love horses.
It's just people you don't like.
Oh, is that it? We rode Western Saddle, too. It was when he almost died. The first time I was with him. He had a blood infection. He was hunting. They were all hunting. And a gun went off and it hit him in the arm, the shoulder. My God. They shot him in the shoulder, and they didn't get all the bullet out, and it got infected, and the arm swelled up like a balloon, and they lanced it, and it burst, and there was pus.
Oh, my. What's it to you?
And they put drains in it, and there weren't any medicines then.
No antibiotics, you mean?
What?
No antibiotics.
Yes. And it wouldn't go away, and it would get worse. They all said he was going to die, but I wouldn't let him. I said, no, he is not going to die. I told that to the doctors, and I told him that too. And he said, all right, he would try. If I would sleep with him, I wouldn't leave him alone at night. Be next to him. And I did. And it smelled so awful. The pus, the rot.
Don't, please.
And they said, take him to the desert. Bake his arm in the hot sun. And so we did. We went to Arizona. And he sat there in the baking sun all day, his arm oozing and stinking and splitting. And in 6 months, it went away, and the arm went down in size. And there was no more pus, and he was saved. Except for the scars. All the scars. And I learned to ride Western Saddle.
My.
It was outside of Phoenix, Camelback Mountain. We used to ride out into the desert. And the movie star was there, the one who married the young fellow who ran the studio. She had eyes of a different color.
Sure, what?
She had eyes of a different color. One eye was blue or something, and the other was green, I think.
Who is this?
No, she was a big star. She had a big head and she was tiny. I think she drank too.
You think everyone drinks. Merle Lebaron?
No, of course not. You know.
How long ago was this? Claire Traver?
Oh, when I was there, when we were there, she was tiny. She had 2 eyes.
In the 30s.
Probably. She had a son. She cooked an egg on the sidewalk. It was so hot. He told me.
Her son told you?
No, ours. He was a little boy too. He played with all the other children. The chewing gum twins, that one.
That must have been before the war.
Which one?
Civil.
Thalberg. That's who she married. Arnold Thalberg. He was a real smart little Jew.
All smart Jews are little. Have you noticed? Irvin Thalberg.
I'm a Democrat. I notice a lot of things.
Most of us are. Most of us do. But still, it's fascinating, isn't it? Grisly, but fascinating. She doesn't mean anything by it. And if she did once, she does it now. It just falls out.
Norma Shearer.
Of course.
Who?
What's the matter with all you people?
We are Democrats.
What?
You asked what the matter was.
Don't you get fresh?
My God, I haven't heard that in a long time. Don't you get fresh?
My mother would say that to me all the time. Don't you get fresh? This isn't me. She made us eat everything she put before us and wash the dishes. She made us know what being a grown-up was. She was strict but fair. No, that was our father. No, that was both of them. They're dead. Sis, they're dead.
A small little Jew.
At least she didn't say kind.
She would make us write thank you notes and take little gifts whenever we went somewhere. And she made us wash everything we wore the night we wore it by hand before we went to bed. Sometimes Sis wouldn't do it and I had to do hers too. She made us be proper young ladies.
And go to church twice a day and pray a lot.
What? Oh, we went to church, but we didn't talk about it very much. We took it for granted, I suppose. How much did you steal?
When?
Whenever.
Well, I waited until you're asleep.
I never sleep.
Until you're pretending to be asleep. And then I went into the silver closet and I took down the big silver balls and I stuck them under my skirt and I waddled down into the hall.
Joke about it if you want to. You must have looked funny.
Well, I suppose.
Waddling out like that, you probably clanked too.
Yes, I'm sure I did. Clink, clank.
Clank, clank. You don't think anything's funny, do you?
Oh yes, I'm just trying to decide what I think really the most hilarious. Unpaid build, anti-Semitism, senility.
Now. They in our own league, huh?
Well, I'm sorry.
I'll have to talk to Harry about you.
Harry's dead. Harry's been dead for years.
I know, so is everybody. I don't have friends anymore. Most of them are dead, and the ones aren't dead are dying, and the ones aren't dying have moved away or I don't see anymore.
Well, what does it matter? You don't like any of them anymore anyway.
Well, that's true. But you're supposed to like them, to have them with you. Isn't it a contract? You take people as friends, and you spend time at it. You put effort in it. And it doesn't matter if you don't like them anymore. Who likes anybody anymore? You put in all that time, and what right do they have to
die?
what?
What right do I have to die?
No! To not be what they were.
To change, you mean?
Let her alone.
No, right. You count on them, and they change. The Bradleys, the Phippses, they die. They go away. And family dies. Family goes away. Nobody should do this. Look at sis.
What about her?
My sister was a drunk. She was smarter than me. No, brighter. 2 years younger.
Or 5 or 7.
What?
Nothing.
She always got better grades, had more beau. When we were growing up, only then, she missed more boats than you could shake a stick at.
I have never shook a stick at a boat.
Well, maybe you should give it a try. Shake it, not shook.
We came to the city together after she finished school, and we had a tiny little apartment. And our mother and our father came to see it, to be sure it was all right, not dangerous, I suppose. It was furnished, but he didn't like it, so he gave us some of theirs, some from the garage. We made the most beautiful furniture. He was an architect. We went out all the time, looking for jobs, jobs that a young lady could accept, being escorted out at night. We were the same size, so we could share each other's clothes. That saved money. We had a little allowance, but a very little one. Nothing to spoil us. She was a little shorter, but not much. We kept a list, so the boys, the young men, the men who took us out, we went out with them together a lot. Wouldn't know we were wearing each other's. Is that what I mean?
Yes, I think so. Most probably.
Keep awake.
No. I wore that at the plaza. Don't you remember? You better wear the beads. We had a regular list. We had big feet.
What?
They had big feet.
We had big feet. I still do, I guess. Do I still have big feet?
Yes, you do.
Well, I wouldn't know. I think we liked each other. We used to confide a lot and laugh, and Mother would make us write twice a week or call later. We tried sending letters together, 1 letter together, but she'd make us send 2, each of us one. They had to be newsy and long, and she'd send them back to us with things like, "That's not true," or "Don't abbreviate," or "Your sister said the same thing if she didn't like them," or spelling. This couldn't spell. She drank.
Your mother?
What? No, of course not. My sister.
Of course.
Even then?
When?
When you first came to the city?
No, of course not. Later. Well, we'd have champagne when we went out, before the speakeasies. We'd drink champagne and nibble on candied orange rind. He brings me some, sometimes, when he comes, or flowers, freesia when they're in season. It's the least he didn't do, and he knows it.
Who's this?
Shh, her son. He brings her pretty things.
We would go out a lot, but we didn't take each other's boyfriends. She was prim. I liked wilder men, I suppose.
Why, don't you?
We never liked the same boys. Men. I don't think she liked men very much. Well, I know she didn't. Sex anyway. We had to make her get married. When she was almost 40. Get someone for her. I don't think she wanted him. He was a wop.
I don't believe this sometimes.
Why not? Wop? Nigger? Kind? I told you, it doesn't mean anything. It's the way she learned things.
From these strict but fair parents.
I have Jewish friends, and I have Irish friends, and I have South American friends. I did. Not Puerto Rican or like that, but Venezuelan and Cuban. Oh, we loved to go to Havana.
Another world, huh?
Uh-huh.
I've never known any colored, well, help, yes, In Pinehurst, they had colored help, and we used to visit them there. They knew their place. They were polite and well-behaved. None of those uppity niggers, the city ones.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He keeps telling me I can't say these things. I don't know what things he means. He said once he wouldn't come to see me anymore if I said those things. I don't know what things he means. What did he mean?
Don't worry yourself. Your sister married an Italian.
She did what? Oh, that was later. I always had my eye out for the right man.
And she didn't?
No, she always thought everything would fall right into her lap. And it did. A lot. I had to work for everything. Nothing came my way. I was tall and handsome. She was tall and pretty. Tall, but shorter. Not as tall as I am. Was. I'm shrunk. I'm not tall. I used to be so tall. Why have I shrunk?
It happens with time. We get shorter. It happens every day too. We're taller in the morning than we're at night.
How?
The spine compresses as the day goes on.
I don't have one. I used to have a spine. I don't have one anymore.
What does she mean?
She means osteoporosis.
It hasn't happened to you yet. You wait.
The spine collapses. You can fracture it by walking, turning around, whatever.
I used to be so tall. Shrunk.
I know.
He was short. A lot of my beaux were tall, but he was short.
What's this?
Her husband, I think.
Oh, I knew such tall boys. Such dancers. Sis and I would dance all night with all the tall boys. Some of them were show boys. They were fairies. But some of them were regular. We would dance the night away. And sometimes I would go off.
Naughty girl.
I was the wild one. Sis would say to me, "How can you do that?" And I'd laugh and I'd say, "Oh, come on. I like to have a good time." But I had my eye out. I always had my eye out. If I don't have my eye out, who will? I always had to be on my toes, them sneaking around, stealing and conniving. If I didn't keep my eye out, we wouldn't have had anything. His sister, that one she married, the first one, the dumpy little dentist, was he? What did he know about running an office? What did he know about handling money? Enough to steal, enough to line his own pockets. And of course the old man kept his head turned the other way because, what's his name? The dentist was married to his precious daughter. Oh, that one. Whining and finagling, wrapping him around her little finger. I had to stay one step ahead of all of them. I fixed them.
Did you?
What?
Did you fix them?
Who? Who are you talking about?
The ones you fixed?
How do I know? I don't know what you're talking about. Fix who?
I don't know.
The one who are robbing you blind.
Yes, those.
Everybody's robbing me. Right and left. Everybody steals. Everybody steals something.
Including me. Do I steal?
I don't know. How would I know? He says I should have more money.
Doesn't your office?
We deal with what comes in. There's more than one handles money. There's plenty of chance if anyone wanted to.
Sis used to envy me after I married. She never did well. I always had my eye out.
You used all your income as far as I can see.
Well, why not? It's mine.
Well, just don't complain. If you want to increase in principal, you'd
I
have
don't
to.
complain. I never complain. I have you, and I have her, and I have the chauffeur, and I have this place here, and I have to look pretty, and sometimes I have the nurses. Though they're black, why is that? And I have all those things. I have the cook, I have I have the maid, I have the...
I know.
They all steal, every one of them.
Oh, well.
Sis didn't have her eye out. Not like I did. I married him. He was short. He had one eye. A golf ball hit him there. We took it out. He had a glass one.
Which eye?
Oh, come on.
No, I want to know. Which eye? Which eye was glass?
Which eye was... Well, I don't... I can't remember. I don't know which eye was the glass one. I can't remember. I can't remember.
No.
I can't remember.
No.
Get your hands off me. How dare you?
Sorry.
Why can't I remember anything?
I think you remember everything. I think you just can't bring it to mind all the time.
Yes? Is that it?
Of course.
I remember everything.
Somewhere in there.
My gracious. I remember everything.
Gracious, that must be a burden.
Be nice.
Isn't salvation forgetting DC and all?
Who?
No one.
DC.
I don't know her. Well, maybe I do. I just don't have it right now. Is that right?
That's right.
I loved my husband.
I bet you did.
He gave me pretty things.
That's
He gave me
great.
jewelry. My God, he said, you're so big, so tall, you'll cost me a fortune. I can't give you little things. And he couldn't. I liked pearls and diamonds best.
No kidding.
No, hush.
I had my pearls, and I had some bracelets. And he wanted me to have another. He'd found one without telling me. We wore wide bracelets back then. Diamond ones. Wide. This wide. Flat and wide. The stones in designs very... What? Very what?
Ornate.
Yes. Ornate. And wide. We've been out. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget this. We'd been to a party. And we'd had some champagne. And we were... what? Tipsy? A little, I suppose. We came home, and we were on the way to bed. We had a big bedroom, and it had its separate dressing rooms, and, its separate bathrooms. We were undressing. We were getting ready for bed. I was at my table, and I'd taken off all my clothes, my shoes, my dress, and my underthings, and I was sitting there at my dressing table, and I was naked. I didn't have a stitch except I had on all my jewelry. I hadn't taken off my jewelry.
How wonderful.
Yes. And there I was, all naked with my pearls, my necklace, and my bracelets, my diamond bracelets. 3. And in he walked, naked as a jaybird. He was funny when he wanted to be. We were naked a lot early on, pretty early on. All that stuff. Where am I?
In your story?
What?
In your story. Where are you in your story?
Yes, of course.
You're naked at a dressing table, and he walks in, and he's naked.
As a jaybird, yes. Oh, I shouldn't tell this.
Yes, you should.
Yes.
Yes? Oh, well. There I was. And I had my big powder puff, and I was powdering myself, and I was paying attention to that. I knew he was there, but I wasn't paying attention. I have something for you, he said. I have something for you. And there I was. I raised my eyes and looked in the mirror, and... oh, I can't tell this.
Oh,
yes,
Colin.
tell us.
There he was, his pee-pee was all hard, and hanging on it was a new bracelet.
Oh my god.
And it was on his pee-pee. And it was the most beautiful bracelet I had ever seen. It was diamonds, and it was wide, so wide. And I thought you might like this, he said. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful, I said. Do you want it? He said. Yes, yes, I said. Oh goodness, yes. And he came closer, and his pee-pee touched my shoulder. He was short and I was tall or something. Do you want it? He said. And he poked me with it, with his pee-pee. And I turned around and he had a little pee-pee. Oh, I shouldn't say that. That's terrible to say, but I know. He had a little, you know. And there was the bracelet on it. And he moved closer to my face. And, do you want it? I thought you might like it. And I said, no, I can't do that. No, I can't do that. And I couldn't. I could never do that. And he stood there for, I don't know. And his pee-pee got, well, it started to go soft, and then the bracelet slid off, and it fell into my lap. I was naked, deep into my lap. Keep it, he said, and he turned and walked out of my dressing room.
It's all right. It's all right.
The wild one.
It's all right.
Take me to bed. Take me to bed.
Sure. Help me.
My arm! My arm!
I'm sorry.
Bed. I want to go to bed.
All right now, we're almost there. Okay, here we are.
I want to go to bed.
All right now.
Oh, oh, oh.
All right. There. Comfy?
I'm sorry.
It's all right. Comfy?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm not good at all that.
You'll get there.
I can't project.
Well, think of it this way. If you live long enough, you won't have to. You'll be there.
Thanks.
And since it's the far past we're supposed to recall best, if we get to the future, you'll remember not being able to project.
As I said, thanks.
Uh-huh.
What happens now?
You tell me.
You're the one worth here.
As I said, you tell me.
The things we're able to do, and the things we're not. What we remember doing, and what we're not sure. What do I remember? I remember being tall. I remember first it making me unhappy, being taller in my class, taller than the boys. I remember, and it comes and goes. I think they're all robbing me. I know they are, and I can't prove it. I think I know, and then I can't remember what I know. He never comes to see me.
Yes, he does.
When he has to, now and then.
More than most. He's a good son.
Oh, I don't know about that. He brings me things. He brings me flowers, orchids, freesia, those big violets.
African.
Yes. He brings me those. And he brings me chocolates, orange rind in chocolate. That dark chocolate I like. He does that, but he doesn't love me.
Oh, no.
He doesn't. He loves his boys. Those boys he has. You don't know. He doesn't love me, and I don't know if I love him. I can't remember.
He loves you.
I can't remember. I can't remember what I can't remember. Isn't that something?
It certainly is.
There's so much. Holding on. Fighting for everything. I had to do everything. Tell him how handsome he was. Clean up his blood. Everything came on me. Sis being that way. Hiding her bottles in her night things where she thought I wouldn't find them when she came to stay with me for a little. Falling down the way she did. Mother coming to stay, to live with us. He said she could. Where else could she go? Did we like each other even? At the end? No, not at the end. Not when she hated me. I hate you. She screamed at me. I'm helpless. She stank. Her room stank. She stank. I hate you. She screamed at me. I think they all hated me. Sis hated me. Ma hated me. All those others, they hated me. He left home. He ran away. Because I was tall. I was tall and I was strong. Somebody had to be. If I wasn't, then...
Is she? Oh my god, is she dead?
No, she's alive. I think she's had a stroke.
Oh my god.
You better call her son. I'll call the doctor. No change.
No?
That's the way it goes.
Yes?
Something to look forward to. No?
I don't want to talk about it. I don't about it. Let me alone.
It's worth thinking about, even at your age.
Let me alone.
It's got to be some way. Stroke? Cancer? Or as the lady said, heading into the mountain with a jet? No? Or walking off a curb into a 60-mile-an-hour
Stop
wall?
it.
Or, even worse, think about this. Home alone in the evening, servants off, him out at the club. Sitting home alone. The window jimmied. They get in. Little cat feet and all. Find you sitting there in upstairs
I said
sitting
stop it.
Find me sitting there in upstairs sitting room, going over invitations or whatever, bills. Come up behind me, slit my throat, me thinking, oh my God, my throat's being slit. If there's time for that. I'm almost done. Or I hear them, you hear them, turn around, see them. How many? 2, 3? Fall apart, start screaming, so they have to slit your throat or my throat. Though they may not have planned it that way. All that blood on the Chinese rug. My.
Chinese rug?
Yes, beige, with rose embroidery all around the edges. We get it at auction.
I wouldn't know that.
No, of course not. You wouldn't. You will though, the rug I mean. Clearly nobody slits your throat or mine for that matter. Might be better.
You have things to tell me, I suppose.
Oh, I certainly do. But then again, I don't know everything either, do I?
I'll do, Will. I will do some paper won't let me go on if I get like that.
There aren't any. Weren't any then. I tried. You can't get your way in this world.
There must be one. You have your way in everything, and you can at last. There must be.
There must be what?
A living will.
I was going to, but then I forgot, or it slipped my mind or something. He kept saying, make one. He has one for himself, he says. I meant to. Nothing much to do about it now. Any change?
No, we're just as we were.
I wonder how long this will go on. I hope it's quick. What's her name took 6 years, not a move, not a blink. Hooked up, breathed for, pissed for.
Do I know her?
No, after your time, so to speak.
Uh-huh.
A lot of money. A lot. The kids, 50 the youngest. The kids disagreed. They wanted to see the will first. The lawyer wouldn't show it to them. They came down on both sides. Kill her off. Keep her going. Not pretty.
Don't, please.
Grow up.
She will. She does.
Well, yes, of course. And so do you.
I will never be like that.
Oh, really?
Come off it.
I won't.
What do you plan to do about it?
Yes, that's interesting.
Nor I become this. I won't. I know I won't. That's what I mean. That thing there, I could never be like that. Nobody could. I'm 26. I'm a good girl. My mother was strict but fair. She still is. She loves me. She loves me and sis. She wants the very best for us. We have a nice little apartment, sis and I. And at night, we go out with our boat. I do have my eye out for what? The man of my dreams. And so does sis, I guess. I don't think I have been in love, but I have been loved by a couple of them. But they weren't the right ones.
They never are.
Martha told us what the right one would be. We have fun with the others, dancing, staying out late, seeing the sun up sometimes. Things got a little involved, not it again. That's fun too. Though sis doesn't think so as much as I do. They get involved, but they never get very serious. I have my eye out. We do have our job. We are mannequins, the fanciest shop in town.
I don't want that, no.
Oh, stop. It was fun.
We go into work and we put on these lovely frocks. We walk elegantly around the stores and all ladies shopping, sometimes with their man and sometimes not. And we stop and we touch our dresses, the silk, the fabric, and they ask us questions. We pass on to another group, another section. We twirl, we sashay. We do.
Oh, I know.
Yes, we know. Do we know?
Don't look at them. Don't listen to them. We wear our beautiful evening gowns and we parade about. We know that there's people looking at us, studying us, and we smile. And, well, I suppose we follow those men who did this, the husband or whatever.
Flirt? You?
Me? Flirt?
Whee!
Bravo, bravo.
Whee! Stop it! Steal my life!
Oh, my dear.
Oh, I remember it differently, little one. I remember more design. I remember a little calculation.
Oh, yes, a little calculation, a little design.
Don't listen to them. Design? What are they talking about?
Never mind.
They don't know me.
No.
Remember me.
No. Oh, all right, dear. Go on. I said go on.
She says go on. Honestly.
I am a good girl.
Well, yes, I suppose so.
And not dumb.
I am a good girl. I know how to attract men. I'm tall, I'm striking. I know how to do it. 6 letters, 8 keys at front end. I stand tall, breast out, chin up, and hand just so. And walk into the aisles and they know that there's somebody coming, that there's somebody there. But I am a good girl. I'm not a virgin, but I am a good girl. The boy who took me was a good boy.
Oh, yes, he was.
Yes, was he?
You remember.
Well, it was a while ago.
But you do remember.
Oh, yes, I remember him. He was...
Sweet and handsome. No, not handsome. Beautiful. He was beautiful.
He was, yes.
Yes.
He has coal black hair, violet eyes, and such a smile.
Ah,
Yes.
His body was, well, it was thin but hard, all sinew and muscle. He fenced, he told me, and he was one with a microphone on the crew. When I held him, when we danced, there's only sinew and muscle. We dated a lot. I like him. I didn't tell mother, but I like him a lot. I like him, sis, I said. I really like him. Have you told mother? No. And don't you? I like him, but I don't know. Has he, you know? No, he hasn't. But then he did. We were dancing slowly late at the end of the evening, and we danced so close. Oh, pressed. And we were pressed. I can feel that it was hard. The sinew, the muscle pressed against me while we danced. We were the same height, and he looked into my eyes while we danced. Slowly. I can feel that old pressure up against me. And he tense it. And I feel it move against me.
Whatever is that, I said.
Whatever is that? I said. I knew, but whatever is that? And he smiled. And his eyes shine. And it's me in love with you, he said. You have an interesting way of showing it, I said. Appropriate, he said. And I feel that muscle move again. And I knew I was ready. I knew it was time. That I knew I wanted him. Whatever that meant, that I wanted him. That I wanted it.
Yes, oh yes.
Remember, don't give it away, Mother said. Don't give it away like it was nothing.
They won't respect you for it and you'll get known as a loose girl. Then who will you marry?
Is that what she said? I can't remember.
Yes, you can.
They won't respect you for it, and you are known as a loose girl. Then who will you marry? But he was pressed against me, exactly against where he wanted to be. We were the same height, and he was so beautiful. And his eyes shone, and he moved his feet as we danced, slowly as we danced. And he breathed on my neck, and he said, "You don't want me to embarrass myself right here on the dance floor, do you?"
No, of course not.
I said, No, of course not. Let's go to my place, he said. And I heard myself saying, I'm not that kind of girl. I mean, as soon as I said it, I blushed. It was so stupid, so expected. Yes, you are, he said. You're that kind of girl.
And I was, and my God, it was wonderful.
It hurt, didn't it?
Oh, well, a little.
You're that kind of girl. And I guess I was. We did it a lot. I know I tried to say that first time is so fast, but it was wonderful. And I know I'm now only 26, and I know there have been a few others. And I imagine I'll marry, and I'll be very happy.
Well, we'll talk about happy sometime.
I know I'll be very happy. But would I not ever think about him? He was long and thick and knew what I wanted, what I needed. Well, I couldn't do, you know, the thing he wanted. I just couldn't. I can't.
Nope, never could.
I wonder why.
I tried. I tried to do it. But I choked. I threw up. I just couldn't.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about what can't be helped.
And there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Why? Why is there more than one way to skin a cat?
Why not?
Who needs it? Isn't one way enough?
I just want you to know that I am a good girl. That I was a good girl.
You meet him in 2 years.
What?
Who? Your husband. We're what, 26? We'll meet him in 2 years.
The man of my dreams?
Well, the man you're dreaming about.
For a long, long time.
Like the boy I was?
Well, yes, he was wonderful. But then there's life.
How long? How long?
Long enough. You're, what?
52.
52. I marry when I'm 28. You're 66 when he dies. We have him a good long time.
Another 14 years.
Yes, but the last 6 aren't much fun.
That's almost 40 years with one man.
Well, more or less one man. No? Not much fun?
Not much.
How he like? Have I met him?
The one we meet at a party? this in me. This is with me, but I see him looking over at me.
Yes.
This doesn't much care, I don't think.
More or less. What is this more or less?
I beg your pardon?
I said that's almost 30 years with one man, and you said more or less one man.
No. Oh, well, what are you expecting? Monogamy or something?
Yes, if I care, yes.
Remember monogamy?
No. You can talk about monogamy if you like, pro and con if you like. Leave me out of that one.
Infidelity is a matter of spirit. Isn't that what they say? Aside from bad taste, disease, confusion as to where you live, having to lie all the time and remember the lies. God, remember the lies?
Well, there wasn't much, not too much.
Except for the groom, huh?
Oh my, the groom.
Why do I marry him?
Who? The groom?
The one I meant. I married the one I meant.
Yes, you do.
Why?
Why do I marry him? Why did I marry him?
Why did I?
Tell me.
Because he makes me laugh. Because he's little and he's funny looking and little like a penguin.
Yes, quite a bit like one.
Well, most especially in his bib and tucker.
Why would I marry him if I'm going to cheat on him?
Why would you marry him if he's going to cheat on you?
I don't know.
Calm down. Just settle in. Men cheat. Men cheat a lot. We cheat less and we cheat because we're lonely. Men cheat because they're men.
No, we cheat because we're bored. Sometimes. We cheat to get back. We cheat because we don't know any better. We cheat because we're whores. We cheat for lots of reasons. Men cheat for only one. As you say, because they're men.
Tell me about him.
Don't you want to be surprised?
No.
You've seen him, or he's seen you. I don't think you've met him. He's something of what they call a playboy, at least in my time, not yours. He's rich, or going to be, and he's divorcing his second wife. She's just plain bad. The first one drank, still does.
That one dies eventually. 80 or something. Pickled, preserved.
What's he like?
Well, he's short, and he has one eye. And he's a great dancer, except he keeps running into things. The eye, you know. And he sings like a lovely tenor. And he's funny. God, he's funny.
Yes, he was.
I have seen him.
He tells me, I think I remember. He tells me he saw me with sis before he dated her, that I was taller, that he had his, you will forgive the joke, his eye on me. Didn't he tell me that he had his eye on us?
I don't remember. He was going with that comedian in the splits, the 8-foot one.
Well, you put a stop to that soon enough.
Once you got your claws into him, you mean?
Why do I like him? Is fun enough? Is having a voice, is dancing enough?
Don't forget one eye.
Oh, he was nice. We liked him a lot.
Like him a lot?
Oh, stop it. You're 26 years old, which is not a tot. There is the future to look out for.
And he is rich, or going to be. Rich family.
I don't believe this.
Our father dies.
I loved him.
No, he doesn't.
Everybody does.
Except me, maybe.
Except us.
I love him.
Well, that should be enough to keep the old heart going. Jesus, she loves me. How can I go and die on her?
Is it quick?
I don't remember.
Not bad. Heart failure. Fluid in the lungs. Some bad breathing. Oh God, the terror in the eyes. We did that. Yes. We cried when Dad died. I cried. Sis cried. Mom went out on the porch and did it there.
I don't remember.
What happened to Mom?
She holds out. She stays on for almost 20 years and then she moves in with us. How does it go?
What? She becomes an enemy. She dies when she's 84. 17 years of it, staying up in her room in the big house with us. The colitis, the cigarettes, the 6 or 7 Pekingese she goes through. I stopped liking her.
I couldn't.
She becomes an enemy.
How?
She comes to resent me. She starts to resent getting old, getting helpless. The eyes, the spine, the mind. She starts to resent that I have, that we have so much, and that I'm being generous. We're being generous. She snaps at everything. She sides with sis. She criticizes me.
She wasn't like that.
No, she couldn't be.
I don't care. Forget I told you. She never moved in with us. She's still alive, up there in the country, in the same house. She's 137 now. Does her own baking, jogs 3 times a week.
All right.
There's more. You want to hear it? No, of course you don't. No, of course not. Anyhow, you marry him.
I do.
Yes, he's fun.
He
and
sings.
he's nice.
He sings.
He dances.
And he's rich, or his father is.
And he loves tall women.
And you suddenly realize you love short men.
Penguin.
And it goes all right. His mother doesn't like me. Doesn't like you at all. But the old man does.
He certainly does. You're tall. I bet you're hot stuff.
You win him over. You know, I think the old buzzard had lunch for us.
Yes, I think so.
And boy, did he want a grandson.
Oh, that made him happy.
I have children.
You have one. You have a boy.
Yes, we do. I have a son.
Well, fancy seeing you again. Get out of my house.
Stop it. Is that him?
I said, get out of my house!
Do be quiet. Leave him alone. He's come to see me. That's it. Do your duty.
He is. My goodness. How nice. How handsome.
You wouldn't say that if you knew. She would, a filthy little...
Shh, I don't want to think about that. He came back. He never loved me, never loved us, but he came back. Let him alone.
He's so young.
Yes, well, this is how he looked when he went away. Took his life in one bag and went off. No?
You wore that coat the day you left. I thought I told you to get her haircut.
Yes. Yes, he did. He wore that coat. I'm leaving, he said. And he took one bag. And his life.
He went away from me? Why?
Maybe you changed. They say you changed. I haven't noticed. He comes back. He comes back to me. To me? I let him?
Sure. We have a heart attack. They tell him he comes back. 20 plus years. That's a long enough sulk on both sides. He didn't come back when his father died.
Of course not.
But he came to me. They call me up and tell me he's coming to see me. They say he's going to call. He calls. I hear his voice. And it all floods back. But I'm formal. Well, hello there, I say. Hello there to you, he says. Nothing about this shouldn't have happened. Nothing about I've missed you. Not even that little lie. Sis is visiting. She's lying drunk and passed out upstairs. And not even that little lie. I thought I'd come over. Yes, you do that. He comes. We look at each other, and we both hold in whatever we've been holding in since that day he went away. You're looking well, he says. And you too, I say. And there are no apologies, no recriminations, no tears, no hugs. Dry lips on my dry cheeks, yes, that. And we never discuss it, never go into why, never go beyond where we are. We're strangers, curious about each other, we leave it at that.
I'll never forgive him.
I never do. But we play the game. We dine. He takes me places. Mother, son, going to formal places. We never reminisce. Eventually, he lets me talk about when he was a little boy. But he never has an opinion on that. He doesn't seem to have much of an opinion on anything that has to do with us. With me.
Never.
Or with you. Or you.
Did we drive him away? Did I change so?
He left. He picked up his attitudes and he left. And I never want to see him again. Go away.
Well, yes, you do. You do want to see him again. Wait 20 years. Be alone, except for her. Passed out on the floor. And the piano top with the photos and the silver frames. And the butler, and be all alone. You do want to see him again. But the terms are too hard. We never forgive him. We let him come, but we never forgive him. I bet you don't know that, do you?
How did we change? How did I change?
Don't bother yourself. He never belonged.
I don't believe this.
Let it alone.
No. How did I change? What happened to me?
Oh, God.
How did I change?
She wants to know how she changed. She wants to know how she turned into me. Next, she'll want to know how I turned into her. Maybe. Maybe I want to know that.
Huh?
Maybe. You want to know how I changed?
I don't know. Do I?
26 to 52. Double it. Double your pleasure. Double your fun. Try this. Try this on for size. They lied to you. You are growing up and they go out of their way to hedge, to qualify, to evade, to avoid, to lie. Never tell it how it is, how it's going to be when the half-truth can be gone in there. Never give the alternatives of the pleasing prospects. Then what you have to look forward to. God, if they did, the streets would be littered with adolescent corpses. Maybe it's better they don't.
They,
parents, teachers, all the others. You lied to us. You don't tell us things change. That Prince Charming has the moral of a sewer rat. That we're supposed to live with it and like it or give the appearances of liking it. Chasing the chambermaid into the closet. The kitchen maid into the root cellar. And God knows what goes on at the stag at the club. They probably nail the horse to the billiard table for easy access. Nobody tells you any of this.
poor you.
The root cellar?
Hush. No wonder one day we come back from riding, the horse all slathered and snorting, and he takes the rein, the groom does. And he helps us dismount, the groom does. His hand touching the back of her thigh. And we notice. And we notice he notices. And we remember we've noticed him before. Most especially bare-chested that day heaving the straw. Those arms. That butt. And no wonder we smile in that way he understands so quickly. And no wonder he leads us into a further song, the fucking hay, for God's sake. And down we go. And it's revenge and self-pity we're doing it for until we notice it's turning into pleasure for its own sake. For our own sake. And we're dripping wet. And he writes us like we've seen in the pornos. And we actually screamed. And then we lie there in the straw, which probably has shit on it, cooling down, and tells us he's wanted us a lot, that he likes big women, but he didn't dare. And will he get fired now? And I said, no, of course you won't. And for a month more of it, I don't. But then I do. I do have him fired. Because it's dangerous not to. Because it's a good deal I've got with a penguin. A long-term deal in spite of the crap he pulls. And you'd better keep your nose clean or polished. For the real battles. For the penguin's other lady folk. The real ones. The mother who just doesn't like you for no good reason, except her daughter hates you, fears you, and hates you. Envies and therefore hates you. Dumpy, stupid, whiny little bitch. Just doesn't like you. Maybe in part because she senses the old buzzard had lunch for you. Besides, no girl's good enough for the penguin. Not her penguin. The first two sure weren't, and this one's not going to be either. Try to keep on the good side of the whole wretched family. Stand up for your husband when he won't do it for himself. Start really worrying about your sister who really stopped worrying about herself? About anything? Watch your own mother begin to change even more than you're where you are. And then try to raise that? That? Gets himself thrown out of every school he can find. Even one or two we haven't sent him to. Since he hates you. Catch him doing it with a niece-in-law and nephew-in-law the same week. Start reading letters he's getting from, what do they call it? Older friends. Telling him how to outwit you, how to survive living with his awful family. And tell him you'll bring him with a fucking crystal ashtray if he doesn't stop saying anything, doesn't stop getting letters, doesn't stop. Just doesn't stop. And he sneers. And he says very quietly that he can have me put in jail for opening his mouth. Not while you're a minor, I tell him. You just wait, I tell him. You just wait. I'll have you thrown up at his house so quick it'll make your head spin. You're going to fire me? He says. Quietly. Smiling. You going to fire me too? Just like you fired him? He's good in bed, isn't he? Of course you wouldn't know about bed, he says. He gets up, stops by me, touches my hair. I thought I saw some straw, he says. Sorry. And he walks out of the solarium, out of the house, out of our lives. He didn't say goodbye to either of us. He says goodbye to Mother upstairs. He says goodbye to the Pekingese too, I imagine. He packs one bag, and he leaves. Get out of my house! Does that tell you a little something about change? Does that tell you what you want to know?
Yes. Thank you.
You want some more?
No, thank you.
I shouldn't think so.
Yes, you do. You want more.
I said, no, thank you.
That doesn't cut any ice around here. How you got to her is one thing. How you got to me is another. How do you put it? That thing there.
I'm sorry.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, I've got a few doubts about that route myself.
You.
Yeah, well, I'm not so bad. There's been shit, but there have been good times too. Some of the best.
Of course, there are always good times. Like when we broke our back. You break your back.
Yeah, you sure do.
I do?
Snap.
Well, not exactly. Snap, really.
I should know. It was only 10 years ago, and...
Riding, yes. Jumping. We never liked jumping. Hunters. Saddle horse, yes. Hunters, no. Brutes and hysterics, every one of them. But hunters it was that day. Entertaining a bunch of damn fools. Brisk. Burned leaves in the air. Smell of burning. Just dawn. Mist on the ground. Dawn all green and yellow. We didn't like her mount, did we?
No.
No, I didn't like her. She was hysteric and a brute.
When do I learn to ride? I mean, really ride.
It goes with a marriage.
Yes, I didn't trust her. I'd ridden her earlier that fall. She was stupid and cantankerous, shied at a moving shadow. I said to him, you go on. I'll stay. You go on.
Yes.
But he looked so hurt. I said, oh, all right. And went off into the wood. The green, the gold, the mist, knee-high to your knees. Stupid cow of a horse. Couldn't she see the fence in the mist? Did she come on it too fast and shy like that? Over we went.
And over we went.
Oh no.
Could have broken my neck, I suppose.
Well, yes.
Lucky.
There is that.
We never mounted a hunter again, did we?
Nope.
Dan cast with a ton. And you know what I thought about most?
Who's he doing it with? Who's he got cornered in what hallway? Who's he poking his little dick into?
That he might leave us. That he might decide to get one isn't broken.
What kind of man is this?
Man.
Man.
How was this happy time? Good times, you said.
Oh, well, we proved we're human. No?
Of course. We were fallible. Once you fall, whether you get up or not, once you fall and they see it, they know you can be pushed. Whether you're made of crockery and you smash into pieces, or you're bronze and you clang when you topple, it makes no never mind. It's the plinth that's important.
To translate,
Thank you.
Thank you.
you can go around fixing the world, patching everything up, everyone, and they're grateful to you. Grudgingly, but grateful. But once you follow yourself and prove you're not quite as much better than they are, than they thought, then they'll let you go right on doing everything for them, fixing the road, etc. But they won't hate you quite so much because you're not perfect.
And so everything's better. Nice and better. Doesn't that make it a good time? He doesn't leave you for something else. He's sweet and gives you a big diamond ring, and you don't have to get back up on a hunter anymore. Doesn't that make it a happy time?
Do I get to shoot a horse?
I beg your pardon?
Woohoo! Never occurred to me.
I won't become you. I love you.
Oh, stop. And the great ring? The big diamond. You don't wear it anymore?
Gone.
No?
I sold it.
Oh.
I've sold everything. Well, not everything, but most. Money doesn't go as far these days. Money doesn't go anywhere. I have no money. I have money. I eat into it every year. Every year it's less.
We should cut back. We should...
Don't talk to me about cutting back. It's all paste. It's fake. All the jewelry sitting in the vault, in the bank, it's all fake.
Why is there? Why do we bother?
Because we take it out and wear it? Because the fake look as good as the real, even feels the same. And why should anybody know our business? No?
Appearances?
Appearances? That which appears to be?
I mean, who are we trying to impress?
Ourselves. You'll learn. I took the big diamond in. When we bought it, when he brought it in for me, he said,
"This is a perfect stone. I've never seen a better one. You ever want to sell this, you bring it back to me, then I'll give you better than you paid for it." He petted my hand. Pat, pat.
pat, pat. And so I took it back. After he died, after the cancer, after all that, they looked at it. They said it was deeply flawed, or it was cloudy, or something.
Sons of bitches.
They offered me a third of what he paid for it, and the dollar wasn't worth half of what it had been.
Didn't you sue? I mean, what can we do? We just can't.
What can you do? There's nothing you can do. You go on. You eat into yourself. Starving people absorb their own bodies. The money's there, the investments are there, except less each year. It absorbs itself. It's all you plan to count on, isn't it? The extras.
The big diamond, huh?
Big diamond. And most of the rest. Well, what does it matter? It's all glitter.
No, it's more than that. It's tangible proof that we are valuable. That we are valued.
Well, it's gone. All the glitter's gone.
Yep. Bye.
Are there any other surprises?
Oh, yeah. Lots.
Oh, my dear, you just wait. She hides the money. Whatever she gets for the jewelry, she keeps in cash and spends a little whenever there isn't enough of the regular. If there's a lot, she can't spend it all without people knowing what she's doing, I mean. She hides it. And then she can't remember where she hid it. And she can't find it. Ever. And she can't tell anybody.
Is the cancer bad?
When is it good?
How bad?
Fill me in. Fill me in. Pretty terrible. 6 years. I told you that. It takes him 6 years from when he knows it, when they tell him he has it, to when he goes. Prostate. Spreads to the bladder, spreads to the bone, spreads to the brain, and the liver, of course. The ancients knew something. It's all right at first, except for the depression and the fear. It's all right at first, but then the pain comes, slowly, growing. And then the day he screams in the bathroom and I rush in, I expect to see him lying there. But no, he's standing at the toilet, and his face is filled with horror, and he points at the bowl, and it's all pink in there. The blood is coming with the urine now. And it's all downhill from there. The pink becomes red, and then there's blood in the bed at night as I'm lying with him, holding him. And then there's... Oh, I go on with it. It's terrible. There's nothing you can do to prepare yourself. I don't like you, you deserve it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't like you either.
And so it goes.
I had a premonition. I know you say there's no such thing, but I had one. It was I die. Oh, stop. You don't think I'm going to? You can hardly... Wait. Just you wait. I died, you see. And when I did it, when I died, I was all alone. No one there in the room with me. The hospital room. I was back in that awful hospital. Why didn't you take me out of there? Why didn't you leave me in that? Don't you touch me. Here I was, and I was in a coma. In and out, in and out. Sometimes I would wake up, and I'd wonder who I was, and where I was, and who were all those people looking at me. Sometimes I wouldn't wake up, and then I'd half try, and then I wouldn't. You brought me flowers. You brought freesia. You know I love freesia. That's why you bring them to me, because I love them. Why do you do that? You hate me. Why do you do that? What do you want? You want something. Well, you just wait. You'll get what's coming to you. In my premonition, I knew I was dead, and it didn't seem to matter any. And I was all alone. No one there with me. And I was dead. No one, just the chauffeur and the maid. I was there an hour, and I was dead. And then you came in, and you had your flowers, your freesia. You came into the room, and they were there, and I was dead. And you stopped at the door of the room, and you knew right away. And you stopped and you thought. I watched you think, and your face didn't change. Why didn't your face ever change? There you were, and you thought, and you decided, and you walked over to the bed, and you touched my hand, and you bent down, and you kissed me on the forehead. For them. They were there, and they were watching, and you kissed me for them. And then you stood up, still holding onto my hand, as if, what, you didn't know what to do with it? You held onto my hand, and my hand wasn't warm anymore, was it? My hand was cold, wasn't it? Wasn't it?
And so it goes.
I will not become you. I will not. I deny you.
Oh, yes. You deny me. Yes, you all deny me. You deny me. I suppose you do too. And of course you deny me. Well, that's all right. I deny you too. I deny you all. I deny you, and I deny you. And of course I deny you. I'm here. And I deny all of you. I deny every one of you.
Is it like this? What about the happy times? The happiest moment? I haven't had them yet. Have I? Oh, 2026? I can't imagine that. I had some, of course. Some of what probably would be the happiest, even when I get to the point I can begin to looking back and not feeling silly. Though God knows when that will be. Not feeling silly, if ever. Confirmation, for example. The white dress mother maid, she's so jealous, excited, jumping up and down and sulking at the same time. But even now, you see, I'm remembering. And what I'm remembering doesn't have to do with what I felt, but what I remember. They say you can't remember pain. Well, maybe you can't remember pleasure either. I mean, in the same way you can't remember pain. Maybe all you can remember is a memory of it, remembering it. I know my best time. Was it? Happiest? Haven't happened yet. They are to come. Aren't they? And whatever the loss, whatever the evils come, whatever the loss, the taking away comes, won't it all be balanced out? Please? I'm not a fool, but I know there's a lot of happiness along the way. Isn't there? And isn't it always ahead? Am I right? Aren't I? I mean, all along the way. No?
girl. Silly baby. The happiest time? Now. Now, always. Half of being adult gone, the rest ahead of me. Old enough to be a little wise past being really dumb. No offense.
None taken.
Enough shit gone through to have a sense of the shit that's ahead, but way past sitting and playing in it. This has to be the happiest time in theory anyway. Things nibble away, of course. Your job is to know that too. The wood may be rotten under your feet, your nicely spread legs, and you'll be up to your ass in sawdust and dry rot before you know it. Before you know it, before you can say, this is the happiest time. Well, I can live with that, die with that. I mean, these things happen. But what I like most about being where I am, and 50 is a peak in the sense of a mountain.
52.
Yes, I know, thank you. What I like most about being where I am is that there's a lot I don't have to go through anymore. And that doesn't close them down, for me at any rate. It opens up whole vistas of decline, of obsolescence, peculiarity, but really interesting. Standing up here right on top of the middle of it has to be the happiest time. I mean, it's the only time you get a 360-degree view. See in all directions. Wow, what a view.
You're both such children. The happiest moment of all. Really, the happiest moment. Coming to the end of it, I think. And all the waves cause the greatest woes subside, leaving breathing space. Time to concentrate on the greatest woe of all. That blessed one. The end of it. Going through the whole thing and coming out, not out beyond it, of course, but sort of to one side. None of that further shore nonsense, but to the point where I can think about myself in the third person without being crazy. Well, I've waked up in the morning, and I've thought, oh, well, now she's waking up, and now she's going to see what works. The eyes, for example. Can she see? She can. Well, good, I suppose. So much for that. Now she's going to test out all the other stuff. The joints, the inside of the mouth, and now she's going to have to pee. What's she going to do? Go for the walker? Lurch from chair to chair, pillar to post? Is she going to call for somebody? Anybody? The tiniest thought that there might be nobody there. That she's not making a sound. That maybe she's not alive. So's anybody notice, that is? I can do that. I can think about myself that way. Which means, I suppose, that that's the way I'm living. Beside myself. To one side. Is that what they mean by that? I'm beside myself? I don't think so. I think they mean another kind of joy. There's a difference between knowing you're going to die and knowing you're going to die. The second is better. It moves away from the theoretical. I'm rambling, aren't I?
A little.
Well, we do that at 90, or whatever I'm supposed to be. I mean, give a girl a break. Sometimes when I start thinking about myself like that, like I was watching, I really get the feeling that I am dead, but going on at the same time. And then I wonder if she can think and feel, and then I wonder which one has died, me or the one I think about. It's a fairly confusing business. I'm rambling. Yes, I know. What was I talking about? The end of it, yes. So, there it is. You asked after all. That's the happiest moment. When it's all done, when we stop, when we can stop.
外国语文学系110级毕业公演在此画下完美的句点。在漫长的筹备过程中，我们收到非常多的帮助。主办单位国立交通大学外国语文学系，协办单位国立交通大学教务处、国立交通大学学务处以及国立交通大学学联会。特别感谢国立交通大学校友会、外文系刘成生教授、张爱珠教授、林建国教授。外文系办公室邹慧英小姐、虎弟小姐，外文系全体教职学长姐、学弟妹，国立交通大学事务组沈怡远先生，钟正强管理员，舞台技术指导李佳如、刘燕琪，全藏学生技术助理张恩豪、李欣怡、王文轩，以及平面摄影周一谷，协助录影国立交通大学传科系虚拟摄影工，国立交通大学传科系 Loha Studio。感谢以下赞助 ：LTTC 语言训练中心、小舞台烘焙坊、统一数位翻译、上扬公安股份有限公司、王子神谷新竹城隍店、大学眼镜交大店、嘉义小青旅、暖乐大有盐酥鸡、技嘉有限公司、哇哇午餐厨、227酒吧、SOL 安全帽、Mountain House 山房、Daniel Wellington、Winning English 英嘉英语学院。窈窕佳人美容美体生活馆，将美丽妇产科为主中医，交大热情小七 Studio 瑞典耳机，旧式经典咖啡馆，书林书店，国信广告 Mano Mano， 以及赞助学长姐名单：邱婉玲学姐、林佳明学长、李欣平学姐、林彦君学姐。抽中老爷酒店住宿券，材料10陈一凡 Mano Mano。马卡龙12入，公公10颜耀腾，樱花10刘文慧。经以上中奖者于谢幕结束后至台前领取。让我们欢迎演员 A 白九方、B 王一清、C 施敏媛、The Boy 李俊伟。 轩组员黄亮渊、刘嘉玲。剧本组组长李俊伟，组员白九芳、郑景丽。指导老师林凯玉老师，组长杨杰，组员李瑜珍、石景熙玲、李梦如。技术组感谢灯光设计指导老师徐仲华老师，组长陈静文，组员叶嘉瑜、邱怡杰、柯一飞。感谢指导老师江瑞明老师、助教关建真老师、导演林佑轩、副导演刘颖静、辅监叶嘉瑜。行政组总务李瑜珍、副召集人王义清、总召集人陈婉萱。外国语文学系110级毕业公演在此下台一鞠躬，谢谢大家。